All right, caller, you're on the air. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Yeah, hello. My name's Renee. I'm calling from South Texas.
Welcome, Renee.
I had called a couple of years ago. I used to be a J witness, and my wife still is a J witness.
Okay.
And sometimes we get visits from the elders, and to my surprise, one of them told me about, because I'm trying to get as close to Orthodox Judaism as I can. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought up something about the Hachamim. This is the way the righteous people with the Jewish faith, if they're the leaders of the time, that if they tell you left is right and right is left, you have to do as they say. And it's confusing because I know they don't have a source for this. But it just threw me off because I'm very in my early stages of trying to, you know, get as close as I can. I don't know if Rabbi knows about this or if he can enlighten me a little bit about this.
Okay, yeah, very good. If you want to go ahead and hang up now and tune in for your answer, okay? Thank you.
The key is that you must follow the sages. You must follow whatever the courts tell you. That's all. You have to follow the decision of the priests and the judges. How do you know it? Because it says in the Torah, whatever they tell you, you must follow it. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 11. Al pi ha-Torah asher yerucha, v'al-mishpat asher yormu lecha, ta'aseh. The context here is a decision made by the courts. According to the Torah, whatever they show you, according to their judgment, whatever they say to you, you must do. Lo yisasser min hadover asher yagidu lecha, and do not deviate from what they tell you. Yemin usmo. Says it openly. Don't deviate from right or left. So let the J witnesses go jump in the lake. That's it. It's the Torah says it. The whole chapter, my gosh, is all about the judges and their authority that they have, and you must follow them. And if you don't follow them, God will require it of you. That's all. They are given that authority from God, and in fact, they're called God in the Bible. Psalm 82, verse 6. The judges are called that. In fact, I mean, this is hard for people to grasp because they don't read the Bible in Hebrew. If you go to Exodus chapter 1 and 22, judges are called God. They're called Elohim in the Torah because they are, not because they're God in any way, because they are teaching and deciphering the teachings of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's why. So their voice becomes an oracle for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You must follow them. You can't follow a majority ruling of judges if it's a corrupt court. Forget that. We're not talking about that. But the Torah says, Hasher yagidu lecha yeminu smo. Whatever they tell you, you have to follow right or left, you have to go. It says it in the Torah. So what do you want from us? So therefore, you have to follow whatever the judges tell you. It says it, that's all. Let's give an example that everybody can understand. Ruth, based on the written Torah, couldn't possibly be the ancestor and the progenitor of King David and the Messiah. Okay? Because a Moabite cannot join the children of Israel based on a chapter, 6 chapters later than Deuteronomy 17. So it openly says it, right? Along comes the sages, are telling you something that doesn't seem to be consistent. So I'm going to take extreme examples here, okay, where it may not make sense to you. But our Chazal tell us it's not their decision. It's the oral Torah that, in fact, the prohibition of a Moabite joining the children of Israel only applies to a male, not to a female. You got to follow it. You got to follow, and we do follow it, and the Torah follows it. That's all. That's all it means. whatever they guide you, and if Chazal are conveying to us the oral Torah, and things that are just not clearly in the Torah at all. That's why the Torah says, Lo yisasur min hadavar asher yagidu lecha yiminu shmol. Do not deviate from what they say, right or left. Don't deviate. Don't deviate. And all those who deviated are gone. All the Jews who thought they were smarter than Chazal. The word chachamim that you meant earlier just means wise ones, but whatever. But Chazal is an acronym. That means our sages, Zechrein Livracha, blessed memory. That's all. They conveyed to us all the teachings were passed down through Moses, through Joshua, the elders, and so on. And what was God talking about, saying that Moses had to instruct all the judges on all the hidden matters? What was hidden if everything's in the 5 books of Moses? So the idea that whatever they tell you, right or left, you tell me what that passage means. So don't forget Deuteronomy 17:11. You think... if I didn't show that to a Christian, because let's face it, they don't read Deuteronomy, not all, but 99% don't, they would think that this passage, Al pi haTorah asher yerucha al hamishpat asher yomer lecha ta'aseh lo yisasur min hadavar asher yagidu lecha yiminu shmol, they would think that's a passage in the Talmud. I'm not kidding. Before I show that to you, you would think that's some verse, some passage in the Babylonian Talmud. It isn't. You would think that judges are called God. Sure, the rabbis took upon themselves importance which didn't belong to them. But it's not true. Not true. After the 10 Commandments are given, we are told that immediately the Torah goes into laws of torts and damages and so on. And the Torah, going from all this loftily 10 Commandments, God speaking of Mount Zion, to don't forget about all these laws. And the judges, when you bring it to the judges, the word judges isn't there. The word there is Elohim. They speak on behalf of God. Obviously, a guy who's is taking money to perform conversions. There are lunatics like this who take that. Nobody's talking about that. Okay, so it's straight in the Torah. That's all. Bingo. That's it. And if you want to know about torts, Jewish law and courts, Deuteronomy 17 is a really, really good place to go. That's what it's about. Okay? I rest my case.
Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra leit nasa בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא